So, I was talking about the scaffolding. Remember the concept of
Yes.
scaffolding of this test, and as well as the scaffolding you need in order to receive whatever I am going to explain in brief about the details of the questionnaire, in the sense that what this questionnaire is about. So I have already mentioned that this questionnaire is an attempt to assess, to get an assessment, not a measurement. Assessment about certain chosen, certain critical mindsets or critical sets of minds for people in general. People in general. This is not a test for you alone. So that's why it is statistical.
Yeah.
That's why it will give only an average sense of your mindsets, certain mindsets. And those mindsets are very specially differentiated or chosen or identified. That is why this test is known as a test of creative mindsets. Yeah. But in order to assess the creative mindset, it actually assesses the mindsets that block creativity only. Because the extent to which somebody is creative, it cannot be measured. So what can be measured is the extent to which where individual cannot perform further. Get the point? In which way you can potentially become a great singer, you cannot know. But what is your current level of singing, you can identify. By asking few judges to listen to the way you sing and then knowing it. So, therefore, in effect, this is a test of certain mindsets that block creativity. Rather, it can be otherwise called a questionnaire that assesses the mental blocks to creativity. Mental blocks meaning mindsets that block the possible, probable creative expressions or creative responses or creative behaviors or creative doings or creative ways of interacting with the people or creative ways of looking at oneself. How that is blocked. In the book, actually, in the back page, I have given the essence of this book actually. I have written all kinds of knowing are there for a person, but not translated into doing.
Yes.
And not translated into the being. Okay? In a firm, correct, elegant, complete or creative way. A lot of people actually want to do so. But they are not able to do so because of mental traps. Originally it is called mental blocks. So I renamed it as traps. It is a blocks to creativity is a universally known thing. All researchers in creativity have done research on mental blocks to creativity. Even my doctoral guide uses the word of mental block only. But I am the one who changed that word block to trap. Because a block can be very solid. It may have deep-rooted things. But a trap is only a trap, visible. It can be opened. That's why I renamed it mental traps. So, I have written the names of the mental traps. This particular questionnaire is assessing, the questionnaire developed by Dr. Pradeep Khandwala is assessing only 7 basic such mental traps. But my book is about 9 mental traps. 2 more mental traps which I identified. But that is not measured through the questionnaire.
Okay.
That I understand by my interaction only. And this book does not just explains those 2 mental traps. But it does not give any other measurement because I have not developed a questionnaire for that. That's right. So that is good. Then there is a brief introduction. These mindsets are essential for survival also. So when we hear the word mental trap, we should not be completely disappointed. These traps are introduced to the child by the very parents only, and the relatives, and the neighborhood, and the community, and the society, and the media, and even literature, and culture, and tradition of a country. Because they are required also. When we discuss about the mental traps, you will know. It is required. Okay. They are essential for survival sustenance, adjustment and adaptation with others and social systems. They are trained into every child in the world by blocking the unwanted. Once again, they are trained into every child for blocking the unwanted, undesirable and dysfunctional responses and other shaping of behaviors, actions, etc., etc. Okay? For example, a child is just like that, behaving very wrongly, very mischievously to a guest. Just like that, let us say so. Then the parents will call them and warn them and admonish them, maybe even punish them with a lot of languages. And if those languages are very severe and depending upon various situations, for example, then the child may develop a general fear, general anxiety, a general hesitation to interact with the strangers itself, for example. Thereby it becomes a mental trap. Okay? So, but the training, especially this blocking training, is often an overdose. Because it is not like a mechanism, machine you tighten the nut this much. So in order to ensure that the child will not behave like that again, they always give an overdose so that they can be sure now the child will not behave like that again. Because you don't know what exact language to be told. 2 sentences told, okay, correct, So parents want to ensure that. So often it will be an overdose. Thereby, these mental blocks and traps develop. Due to the overdose of training by parents, teachers, peers, media and so on, these mindsets often tend to expand into mental traps that just do the reverse. That means they disqualify, reduce the power and bias the very responses, behaviors, actions, etc. and block the firm, correct, elegant completeness of whatever chosen work, etc., etc. Moreover, the mental traps prevent the happiness purpose. Because existence is for happiness only. And it prevents the happiness purpose, the creativity, originality, genius and enlightenment possible, probable for almost every individual human entity, every standard human entity. That's why it is very significant. So this book is a great book actually. I would say my book Mental Traps is a real great book in the world today for the evolution of humanity. Humanity is not evolving into their possible wonders and magics despite centuries of work by super genius mystics and leaders of religions and other communities and societies, etc. and intellectuals. It is because of the mental traps. Criminals and unethical people included, they are all results of mental traps only. A criminal is actually, people think is a tough, rowdy kind of some rock kind of a thing. No, he is actually suffering from a serious mental trap. A very serious one. For example, So, this much is by way of introduction to the questionnaire, that mindset questionnaire of Dr. Pradeep Khandwala. Any questions? Okay. So, one thing, especially you or any of my trainees should be all the time aware that a human being is nothing but an assembly of mindsets standing before you. And every look, every expression is the 5 components I told you. Expression, response, behavior, action, relationships and language. All these 5 fundamental components of the human entity, they are all controlled or governed or driven or influenced or linkaged one way or the other with the mindsets, these mental traps. Therefore, this questionnaire is not only about the blocks to creativity, actually speaking. It is about the blocks to human possibility. What a great psychologist by Abraham Maslow, which I told you, I suppose, a fully functioning human being is not happening, despite the idea that man is formed in the image of the God or Aham Brahmasmi and so on and all that is all the time there, but they do not work because of the mental traps, especially mental traps about one's own self, secretly, unconsciously kept. Oh, I am not actually that capable. Even when somebody is speaking before an audience, you look at me, I am the most competent, I am very capable, I can manage everything, etc., etc., he may say. But even for that person, there could be at the deep unconscious some serious mental traps of some fear and anxiety possible. So, the angel, my guide, Dr. Pradeep Khandwala, used this test only to assess blocks to creativity in that angle. I use it to assess the potential blocks to evolution of a human being into a fully functioning, a creative, original being. Of course, Pradeep Khandwala also implies that only. It is not about creativity in physics or science or dance or music. It's that general creative mindset. Like an ordinary, when somebody is so-called ordinary, it is because majority of mindsets are ordinary. Like a classroom mark in English. Majority is, let us say 45 out of 100. That is the average score of the class. There could be one guy with 95. There could be one guy just 0 also. But the average kind of a thing. So, this is about zero creativity or no creative mindset to fully potential possible creative mindset. That's what this assesses. Because it is standardized, there are scores calculated for every mindsets. I told you these 40 items are assessing 7 mental sets or mindsets. Those mindsets become a block, a mere block at a lower level. At a higher level it becomes a trap, meaning very difficult to escape kind of a thing. Or whatever way. They are all not just names, we discussed names. They are all names, but you have to always try to imagine what is that thing named by that. That's what I have been explaining till now, mindsets. They are not written anywhere, they are not, but they are wired somehow in the neuronal networks, so that the person needs to be rigorously trained. Sometimes a single dialogue may change. Sometimes we may need 5 days to 1 year of training sometimes, to get rid of certain mindsets also. It depends upon the strength or the depth or the width or the expansion or the width of the network of understanding or linkages or experiences that created and that sustains a mindset. Alright? So coming to the questionnaire, Pradeep Khandwala questionnaire of mindsets block to creativity. It is assessing 7 mindsets. I will tell you what are those 7 mindsets. This also very briefly only, because I can talk for average one day for one mindset. So that much is there, but mostly by examples and clarification. But even the every name, these mindsets are named in very simple language so that it can be easily comprehended by anybody. And when you hear about these mindsets, you will be surprised that they are nothing very great, nothing very unusual things. They are all in a way, one way or the other, known to people. Because it is psychology, you know. People, human beings talk to each other, they read a lot to each other, discuss a lot to each other. So they know all these mindsets. They even talk about these mindsets, but not necessarily systematically, and no attempt is ever done to understand that mindsets by oneself or to resolve those mindsets and liberate it from that mental traps, which they don't do normally. I have found that even after years of training, when 10 years of training, not every day, like regular interaction and highly competent people, qualified people, certain mindsets are so deep rooted in them that they just cannot escape from that. Yeah. In fact, I would even define that enlightenment is liberation from all these mindsets, actually. If you are liberated from all these 7 plus the 2 mindsets which I have identified, that is called enlightenment. I define enlightenment. Freedom from the 9 mental traps. Let them understand this, then they will know. So, one of those mindsets, not in number 1 like that, we have to talk about one first. So, one of those mindsets is called, in English language, Centricity-Conformity. Centricity-Conformity. That's a slightly technical word. Centricity meaning center, you know. City, that tendency. So, that tendency to express or respond or behave, etc., the way other people around do. Kind of a mean point. They are centered, their behaviors and responses, actions, etc., are centered around what that child observed during its developmental time. So, if you are a Hindu, you should be like that. If you are a Christian, you should be like that. If you are a Muslim, you should be like that. If you are a boy, you should be like this. If you are a girl, you should be like that. If you are good, you should be like this. If it is so, you are bad. You know? Positive, negative, disadvantages, all kinds of messages. I told you about ego and superego, okay? Superego, all the instructions from the environment, they all will work on to strengthen, reinforce these mindsets. Okay, further. And after stage, then everybody else, other people have to do that. Individual himself or herself will develop mindsets out of his or her experiences in life. Yeah. So, centricity is the tendency to express or respond or behave or do or relate with others or talk the way the people around talk. Somebody talks in very poor language, very foul language, because we may feel angry or irritated, but he has been seeing only that at home. Or he has been seeing that around his peer group when he was a child during his school times. That's why in the past, in fact, in so-called reasonably standard families, they never allowed their children to interact with other children of seemingly negative characteristics. No? Because they knew. And in some homes, the parents never quarreled before the child. Whatever it be the situation, they will say, okay, now the child is there. We will discuss it later. But in many other homes, they will do it on the spot. Okay. In fact, I remember a TV advertisement or something like that some years back, Doordarshan. A father is giving advice to the daughter, never talk lies. Okay. whatever be the situation, Satyameva Jayate. Mahatma Gandhi said that. You should talk only the truth. Okay, Papa, and all that. And after some time, the phone rings. That time phone, that hand big phone.
Yes.
Then the father says, "Oh, darling, if he is asking for me, tell that I am not here." It was in the Doordarshan program. So that is what is going on in my. The parents talk one. In fact, even a criminal, unethical father or mother talk only good things to the children. Yeah, that is the beauty. That also I have observed. Okay, the most rascal kind of an individual, but he gives advice to the child. That's a different issue because anybody can, they all know what is good. As I told you, mental sets are unconscious. They know that doing this is not good. Adulterating food is not good. Manipulating people is not good. Intimidating people, cheating people, cheating society, they are all not good. They know very well. In fact, they know it very well than other people. Because in order to take a bribe or in order to corrupt somebody, you should know all the details. You know, it is not easy to do a corrupt activity. It is really a tough job. You have to calculate a lot of things. So they are very well aware at every stage of planning a murder or planning some unethical manipulation of people, they know. And in order to manage that, they will make counter strategies also. So all this they do because of their centricity with that kind of a upbringing, that kind of father, mother or grandfather, grandmother, whoever. That's why we used to say children should be sent to good company, good schools, etc., etc. So that is called centricity. Or that is very visible in case of certain religious people, political people. Politics is almost like religion. In the past, I don't even know. When we go to toddy shops, toddy shop, toddy is liquor. Liquor shops. In every room there is a board. Do not discuss politics. If politics becomes a topic, there could be a murder on that day. That's why they say do not discuss politics. If somebody starts politics, immediately the hotel manager or the bar manager will come and say stop, 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 or you go. And nobody normally does that. That's what I understand. If they do, there will be a murder or at least a handcuff, fisticuff or quarrel and conflict, and it will be further expanding into subsequent conflicts and murders. Because my politics is my mindset. When he is insulting my political leader or my political party, he is insulting me, the human being me. This way they take it. In fact, people used to say, you can even call somebody all abusive names. He may become angry and say, sorry, he will be ready to forgive you. He will forgive you. But if you criticize his political party, he will not forgive you. Like if you criticize a certain religion today, for example, from out of the newspaper and other media reports, for example, the so-called Islamic fundamentalist thinkers, you will be killed. Yeah. Because that much their body, their flesh, blood is their mindset, for example. No. They are so much centered. That's why all established religions have a very, very systematic pattern. Every Sunday, all of you must come. Okay? Our prayers, all of you together. So to ensure that centricity from which they cannot escape. It's a manifested behavior. It's called centricity. So the other centricity, that's a block. Centricity and conformity. Conform meaning to agree with whatever you say. I conform. CONFORM. You say it is good. I also say I actually feel it is not good. Yeah, it is good. I am conforming to you. So this political party is good, this person is good, this philosophy is good, this subject is good. So we tend to conform. And for example, it is told, especially in India now, all students, good students should go either for engineering or medicine and now management. Only three things. And parents, you might know perhaps, I know personally and otherwise by reports from my research students, there is such a tremendous warfare at home, tremendously tense atmosphere at home. If the child is not eligible to enter the medicine course or especially the course in medicine, especially, or engineering, MBA is a later thing. Management is a later thing. Medicine or engineering. Similarly, IAS, IPS, IFS, a huge image is there because of the colonial culture, because they were having the background of the British administration and the entire society, again because of the centricity and conformity, put them into a big pedestal. They are like British kings, British administrators. And they behave like that also. I would say even now India is governed by the mindset of British colonialism. 1 out of every 3 government employees is nothing but carrying a mindset of that British administrator. The way they look at a person on the other side, the way they look at their fellow citizens in India, the poor farmers or the poor people, the ordinary people, the way even a normal lower division clerk in a government office, the way he would not even look at his face. Centricity and conformity to that colonial mindset. I am a government employee, I am in this. Centricity, conformity that they are from, and in India, the great centricity and conformity about the so-called caste system. India is the most unfortunate land in the whole world where extraordinarily powerful mindset about classifying and categorizing other fellow citizens exist. Now converted into economic class. Yes. If somebody comes with an ordinary shirt and dhoti and all that, I don't think he will be even looked at by the government of his people. Yes. You have to have a proper dress. There are hotels in India, restaurants in India where cars above what you call mid-level, 11 lakh above, segment cars are allowed to enter the campus. Cars. In Bangalore there is BOW, Boring Club. I put the name BOWRING. It's of the so-called top people in Bangalore. You cannot enter the campus. It's a very huge campus. Okay? Where cars are parked in the beginning, let's say so. Even there you cannot enter with the chappals, you need to have shoes. These are all centricity, conformity of the so-called India towards the colonial culture. And I am as a master in understanding human anatomy and physiology and central nervous system process, I say that increasing illnesses of certain stupid kind like diabetes or other things, increasing general body weaknesses and debilities are happening to young people because they are wearing shoes and stockings or socks every day in the schoolroom. That is a practice in cold countries, cold European countries and in the West. Here it is a hot climate. Anybody can look into the anatomy of the brain and the entire body into any internet diagram and see direct neuronal fiber connection from the feet to the cerebral cortex. And that feet is cooked every day in hot summer climate of this unfortunate country where they duplicate and imitate blindly the Western norms. How you smelt the socks of these boys and girls? It is like a dead body smell. Because the leg is getting kind of partly cooked. Okay, high level classrooms, they are all completely air conditioned. But even then they have to come out. Alright. That's why I appreciate, for example, the Isha school of Jaggi Vasudev. I really appreciate. In fact, you shall not wear shoes, only chappals. The entire leg is exposed. I'm just to give, by way of example, I remember that wonderful culture that is generated in Isha Yoga school. So, what I'm telling is, I told you in the beginning that I can talk for days together about the ridiculous manifestations of the every mental block, especially in this unfortunate land, because of their because of the presence of a terrible another mindset, which we will discuss, which do not allow them to claim the credit of the ancient tradition of Bharatavarsha and try to feel good by imitating the West. It is due to a terrible mental trap. That's why I have written the book, The 9 Mental Traps of actually India. Various governments, especially the current governments, Narendra Damodar Das Modi, so one day many times declared that he will make India number one. I have told to many audience, he or nobody in the world can make India number one. Nobody. Because all great majority of Indians are the sad, dark victims of serious mental traps. Evidenced by my finding, by statistically valid finding of data collected from 25,000 people. Let them say, let Narendra Damodar Das Modi say that my book is not sensible. Let any new president or prime minister say that. I am so emotionally attached with this country because I am a researcher of existence. That's why I talk like this. This is my limited way of talking. This is not the way I want to really talk. I want to make my every sentence an arrow and hit the heart of every unethical administrator and politician and leader of this country. Actually. That only I know, because I am the only one, as I know today, who has studied the Indian mindset so thoroughly and deeply. That's why I wrote this book. I can write another 25 books, but I stopped with this. This is enough. Because nothing will work. Jesus failed, Krishna failed, Buddha failed, again due to the mental traps of humanity only. Their own beloved followers. They approached Jesus because of a mental trap. All these devotees and followers are nothing but driven by centricity and conformity, not by their understanding of the truth. Everybody goes, okay. Everybody is joining, wanting to do doctor or engineer. So let me also go. That's the tragedy of this country. I'm just talking about centricity, conformity, mindset only, my dear Swini and Mantra Rishika. And I can talk it very authentically. Only I can talk about it authentically because I have not been. with my first class, first rank university degree and my top class PhD degree, I did not work anywhere. Because I know what is going on in most of the top institutions in the country. I won't allow myself to be governed by an idiot who is driven by mental traps. That's why, sorry. I'm very sorry. I don't want your money. And I don't want your job. That's all. So I am not just a talking theory. Okay? Even Dr. Pradeep Khandwala, he has been a professor at Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. I will not work for more than 3 months. I'm sorry, Dr. My Guru. He is my Guru. I publicly say that. I said about me. But he did one wonderful thing. When Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi nominated him first, IIM Ahmedabad especially, the director is directly dominated by the Prime Minister of the country. So Rajiv Gandhi first nominated him to be the director. He said, I'm sorry, I don't want to. Actually, he is a creative person, he does not want to. Then somebody was there, then 5-year term. Then again Rajiv Gandhi was there, he said, no way, you have to. And I remember the director of Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, he comes to the office wearing a bathroom kind of chappals only. Yeah. And he did his doctorate from some, what you call, Carnegie Mellon, one of the top universities in the US. He is in the director board of at least 50 top companies in India. He can wear all suits and all that, but that can, and he is a poet also, and many other things anyway. So coming back to the point, I will not, I have starved for years together, but I never went for a work. I could go anywhere. So what I mean to say is that when I said all these things about centricity-conformity, I am quite eligible to talk like this. Because I just never did anything just because other people do. Definitely not. In fact, I have a personal philosophy that if something is done by somebody, I will not do that. That's what I do with our Rasayanas also. That's how I reached Rasayana, something which nobody can do. I have been always looking for that. Creativity training program. Very rare people will do. And I am sure nobody in the world can do the way I can do it. But still there are so many creativity trainers. Okay. Then what is there? So writing a book, like unique books, all my 9 books are very unique. That also a lot of people are, there are a lot of other unique books. Then my book, The Master Thief. It is a world-class top book, which you have to also buy and read it 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Okay? That's also interpreting the parables of Zen only. Anyway, that also somebody, there are, after all a book only. Then what else? Then I discovered the wonder of the Rasayanas, the wonder of working as a servant for Patanjali and Dhanvantari and Vagbhada and Swarangadhara. There I have my 100% centricity-conformity. So, there are many other students of Pradeep Khandwala doing this program. I know that. Even many of, at least 5 of my own trainees also live by conducting training programs in mindset analysis only. She knows them. But nobody can be my power. That's why nobody calls me for a second training program, for your information. More than 147 companies have called me. Nobody will call me a second time. Because my program is like bullet arrows. I talk like this. Sometimes more than this. Mandra have seen my program. I will ask participants to get out of the room. whether the vice president of the company, so I have asked them to you really get out or I will go. That's all. That's my centricity conformity attitude. Whether you give the money or not, I don't care. I am going. You have seen two of my programs. In one program, I asked all participants to get lost, and I wanted to come back. I will not do a thing for money or name or recognition, because these are all centricity conformity thing. Everybody is enjoying popularity, fame, recognition because of that centricity conformity drive introduced into the child by the parents. You be good boy, you be in the good books, you be in the good books, you be in the good books. This is what every parent is telling children, and how many people are really in the good books? Because they tell the children to be in the good books, but at least once in a week, or when the child is only 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, once breaking is enough functioning. And if once breaking is more powerful than breaking it several times, then the boy will think, oh, he will talk something and he does it.
Yes.
And he talked all wonderful things, and one day he, with a shocked mind, see that the father is talking this kind of things to my beloved mother. The kind of system is collapsed actually. Even we don't have words to talk about when our system is collapsed. Then how can a child talk about it? When the child that goes out and see other fathers, and child is not a researcher and all that, okay, who is seemingly better than my father, seemingly better than my mother, the child loses all his values about himself, so-called self-image. That self is blocked. I am, after all, this is the way of my father, my mother. Just imagine that unconscious analytic process that every human, it is a very powerful human entity. Almost at least 70% of every standard child is a very powerful Aham Brahmasmi kind of child intelligence only. I don't say. They say. Big geniuses and rishis say. And to such a brilliant, pure Brahman kind of mindset, what is being talked in front of the child? What is being demonstrated? What kind of news is happening in the neighborhood? What kind of people are talking? What kind of doing? What kind of things in the neighborhood and read in the TV or heard around? What is going on in this world? So the self-image is thoroughly broken actually, but somehow it is managed and maintained. If you say some nonsense, he will hit you and kill you. That much it is artificially maintained. It is artificially maintained. That's why modern generation of people are quick in angry response. Yeah. You have to be very careful in offending people. They may kill you. Even if a CEO or university head. In fact, the founder head of one autonomous university in Bangalore called Alliance University, the CEO, he killed his own relative for ownership of the institution. I know him. And he studied in Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. I have seen him, I have talked to him, very so-called very nice, friendly person talking big philosophies to management students. In Delhi and all that, it is called road rage. If you don't give side properly, if you don't overtake and all that, they will look at you and shout at you. To a normal traffic police or a general policeman, you have to be humble like a dog. Not a dog, a street dog. You have a genuine complaint, but you have to very gently pretending to be in your face. You have to pretend as if kind of a mughead and then gently present. Otherwise they will file a case against you. That's the kind of self-image that is governing the great majority of government employees and other senior and people in power and position of this country are having. I have data from public sector managers, private sector managers, management students, medical students, law college students, IAS, IPS, IFS aspirants, all kinds of people. Directly collected data in this book, The 9 Mental Traps of Corporate India. And by centricity and conformity, how they affected life. Next one, in India, third world mindset, marriage. In fact, one of my students who survey, almost 97% plus kind of young people in the universities and colleges, they want to get a degree because they want to get a job. They want to get a job because they want to get married. That's why they are going to schools and they want to get a job. I don't think anybody, even 30% or even 13% or even 3% of people in the West would think like that. Marriage is the highest purpose in existence. Third world country. That's why I say India is even now a third world country. Their focus is not on expressing their self, not doing a job beautifully and wonderfully and creatively and completely. It's also because centricity and conformity. In an average company, you are very unlikely to come across a really dedicated, systematic worker for whom work is like a puja. In Japan, there is a concept called kami, in English Kami. Kami meaning the one who does the work like a god. Kami actually meaning God. You can see that. Everything is a research for me, I told you. When I see the YouTube, they now show all kinds of things, They show workers working in factories. Okay? Factories in Korea, factories in of course, in China, in Japan, in Germany, in the US, in England, wherever. And in India also. I am so surprised, In fact, videos of that inside factory will be allowed only to very established, accredited kind of bloggers or whoever. No? At least on that day they should train their people how they should stand, how they should respond, how they should express. Even now I remember because when we wanted to purchase that Royal Enfield bike, we saw Royal Enfield Assembly Hall. Some unhealthy looking, poor, so-called, urchin looking young boy and men standing there. Okay. Their face expressions are so dull and wearied and tired. Nobody is even smiling. I watched it 10, 12 times. I could not see even one person assembling gearbox in this way that what. You can see every farmer in this village, Kalimangalam, doing it with a much more pleasant face. Whereas, you must see the similar thing in Germany or US or Korea and all that too. As if they are acting in a film. So smart, so dynamic, so we can see in their eyes the way they are looking at what they do. In fact, in India, if you do a job properly, oh, you have come here to impress your boss, okay? Come on, yeah, let's go for a tea. This is the standard thing. Centricity-Conformity. It is in all fields, even in film field included. Some of my students are senior police officers, you know. One of them, senior IPS officer, even Mandra and Amaya knows. No? If he is very ethical and very cultured and very correct and complete and in their service, the way they are traumatized and they are what you call played around with is unbelievable. The others are questioning them. Their own colleagues, senior IPS officers, their own IPS senior officers are telling them, are you playing a good boy or an honest boy? You are going to get an award for Harichandran? Something like that. Who the hell are you? That's why they are questioning them. Same is the story of the Indian administrative people also. So I am talking about the deep-rooted phenomenon called centricity and conformity, which is a so-called mental trap of individuals, but when it operates collectively, it affects the destiny of a nation. That's what I am talking. The destiny of a nation about which are dependent upon the destiny of our young generation, new generation. What is their hope for India, a future India? Tell me, Ashni. Read the newspaper and watch the news channel and say, what is a hope for the young generation of India today? What are the political, religious, economic games that are going on in India today? And one step further, almost everywhere in the world today. My colleagues and my friends and my trainees used to say, you should do this training program on mental trap resolution for the political, religious, organization, institution leaders of this country. Which I am sure it is an impossible task. It will never happen. So that is centricity and conformity. Like centricity and conformity of the leaders of a nation destroy the destiny of the country, the centricity and conformity of an individual destroys the destiny of the person also. Getting into marriage alliance based on some other mental traps, which we will tell you. Conformity to be in the good books of the society,
Yes.
Celebrating marriage, People are spending crores and crores. Many parents are borrowing money and selling their landed property to show that they are spending so much on the marriage of their daughter. Only in this so-called stupid country. In Kerala, at least 10 incidents where the husbands killed their wives for gold or whatever. And today, I suppose, recently, the Supreme Court or whichever higher court of India passed a resolution that the husband has no right on the gold of the wife. Today's news. So, entering into marriage because of centricity and conformity, choosing a profession because of centricity and conformity, then what? Choosing a lifestyle for centricity and conformity. Why this Ferraris and what is the other car? All these 4 crore, 5 crore Rolls Royce are all sold in this poorest of the poor kind of actual country. Actually, they have been trapped by the car companies only.
Yes.
I am sure almost every Indian who purchased a Ferrari or what other car, Mandra, equivalent to Ferrari, or Lamborghini, etc., only because by the intelligent tactics of the marketing managers of that company which traps their centricity conformity only. Get the point?
Yes.
And most advertising are doing that only. Showing the so-called good face of girl, they scream. And also what things are sold, it won't work. Okay. Most of the products are advertised with, what do you think advertising? A lot of people are sitting together brainstorming and then finally they arrive at 6 or 7 copies, then the advertising committee of the company has to agree, and it's all to trap the non-conscious mindsets of people only. In fact, a certain advertisement I remember one, that too by Maruti, Government of India company. I have seen also that advertisement. So a family, a husband, wife and a boy is going in a scooter. Then another Maruti car is coming. And then the boy or the wife is telling, oh, we have only a scooter. And that advertisement was withdrawn. And even in our Indian films, Indian culture is goddamned centricity conformity driven, that I told you already.
Yes.
Only in Indian films you will hear a dialogue, which I have heard at least in 10 films. My father is only a driver. My father is a barber. My father is only a this. I wonder when a child is sitting in the cinema hall, whose father is only a driver, or only a cleaner, or only a sweeper, what would be his self-image? Centricity conformity. Now you see, so systematically the fashion industry, the cosmetic industry, all top industries in the world are definitely unethical and unethical and unethical only. Teaching business ethics for 10 years, I know that. So cosmetic industry, they have successfully created a neurotic centricity and conformity among elderly women, especially in this country. Maybe all over the world, I don't know. Now you have to see sorry to say, even ugly looking, in general, not so elegant looking 60-year-old, 70-year-old females are applying all kinds of makeup and hairstyle and eyebrow finishing and all kinds of things. And certain kind of dress and all these things, which are obviously not suitable for the basic design sensitivity of the inherent in the human being. Design sensitivity is inherent in the human being. Like the color sensitivity is inherent in the butterfly. But they have created the centricity and conformity. So if you are so-called beauty conscious or glamour conscious, then a lot of industry, you know how much is the industry worth. $1 billion industry all over the world. Centricity, conformity. So I have given you the wide range of examples, and you will see n number of other examples. And when you address audiences in the future, you make them reminded. Half of your burden of the mind will be over. If you are, I know, I am so pure, I am so cool, you know. Why so much of BP and cholesterol and diabetes and what you call constipation? Constipation is the most frequent problem of many of the senior people, educated managers and other leaders in the country. The digestive system, driven by the autonomic nerve function completely, like any other function, becomes very, what you call, like you are putting the vehicle with a heavy load and trying to put it in, drive it in top gear with a clutch or something like that. Just work target and performance comparison, everything. Centricity conformity, company also use it, They have a system called performance appraisal. Your score is 5, and the other guy's score 9. 9, it's okay. This is what is going on in a weekly or monthly meeting in almost every company in India. I don't know about the West. In classroom, the teacher would give a look as if you are the most criminal person in the world for not getting marks, okay?
True.
So most children in India are studying very well because of centricity conformity, I am telling you. I would say more than 77% of the students in IITs and IIMs and medical colleges and engineering colleges and other top institutions in this country, India, are there primarily because of their serious obsession with the centricity and conformity only. Evidenced by the economy of this country. Evidence by the quality of the products of this country. Is there a single automobile is the most made thing in the world? Is there a single automobile made in India of world standard? Okay, if there is a Mahindra or something, their design has been helped by somebody from Canada or Italy or Germany. There was a beautiful watch made in India, HND, world class watch. Now that company is closed because people want foreign brands. Centricity conformity. Great lot of girls are worried because they don't look beautiful. Centricity conformity. You can see just by looking at the face how many of them are confident. Very, very rare. I can know as a researcher. Others may not know. You have to be fair and lovely. Centricity conformity. And at the root level, centricity conformity is currently operating in India, that even the young wife loses her charm after an average 1.5 to 2 years. Because by centricity conformity, she is not as good and appealing as that in the pornographic films. Or like another film star. Or like film stars and movies are shown. Have you seen the wives and the loving girls in the Indian movies? Handsome biscuit-faced man and what that Barbie girl looking kind of everybody. Nothing. I know. If you put a normal-looking girl, nobody will see the film. Even the stupidest girl would like to see a so-called beautiful, glamorous actress. It is so much so that even the ugliest girl would make a negative comment about another girl. I'm talking about various. You have to be very alert in your observation to understand centricity conformity mindset. It is so tricky. That's why I didn't put a teeth. I had an offer to do 6 months of training programs in various countries by a company. She knows the company. Passport was given, everything is okay. Senior managers from that country, Mexico and US came to India and they interviewed me, they occurred, they saw a sample training program and everything is finalized. The last one meeting, the Vice President HR said, they all called me Dr. Prasad. Dr. Prasad, sorry, we have to make a request. You have to, I had long hair, okay. Long hair and trim your mustache. That's okay, but you have to fix your teeth. I had a real smile. I instantly said, no way. I will not do that in order to get this training program. Then only I heard her telling, sir, you will almost get 74 lakh Indian rupees at the end of it, sir. I said, 74 lakh and all, I don't know what I am going to do with it. Even if it is 74 crore, I will not fix it just for this. No way. That's all. And I feel so bloody proud about me for that, actually. That gives me the power, which even a minister, even a chief minister will fall for that. Having crores and crores in the bank, even he will fall. 74 lakh Indian rupees from 10 years back. And a free trip everywhere. Okay? Stay in the topmost hotels in the world. She knows. What I am telling is, even fixing this teeth, using toothpaste, all these things are centricity, conformity driven. That's all I am saying. I am saying, I don't say it is wrong or anything. I am telling how life is managed by this kind of campaigns. Political campaigns, above that or equal to that religious campaigns, then economic campaigns. These are the three fundamental campaigns I am telling you. Political, religious and economic or business organizational campaign. Only these three campaigns and the leaders of them are destroying the destiny of humanity. And I am sure nobody in the world would have defined it so clearly and thoroughly. And I want you to become a trainer of that level, not just like anybody else on the road. Okay? Sure. Yeah. Don't speak a word if you don't do it. Or if by chance if you say, okay, this is what I said, actually I don't do it, but this is good for you. Say that openly. Centricity-Conformity. And why centricity-conformity is because first of all is all the remaining blocks or mental traps or mindsets are also created because of the work of centricity-conformity. That's why the mother asks, you are my beloved child, okay? You like mommy or papa more? So ensuring that conformity and dedication to mommy and papa, through that centricity conformity to them, they develop other blocks. That's why this block I talked a lot about this block. You are my child, okay? Don't go to and talk to the father today. Okay? It is happening in 90% of the homes all over the world. Research data. A great psychologist by name Albert Bandura, ALBERT BANDURA. He studied family politics. I think it is his concept. Albert Bandura and John Walters. Anyway, Bandura and Walters, that's why they are known. Two people. They have written several books and they dedicated 3 decades or something like that studying family politics, because that's where the human sapling is grown, Every human entity is primarily a product of the father and mother, not biologically. Not biologically. No man and woman can create a child. It is the work of the organisms, the function, nature process, which is with every earthworm, every bloody dog and cat on the road. What every father and mother creates is that self, that being, that psychological being in a boy child or a girl child. There almost every parent is a dumb failure, evidenced by the data of the world. Okay? And ensuring conformity to me, to the family, you have to be in this religion, okay? You should not be allowing the other religion, okay? You should be trying to make them in our kind of God, okay? If they don't agree, kill them. Or our religion is the only one religion. I read a report somewhere, a printed report in a class journal in some 30 years back, that the Catholic Church in the US wants every person in the world to be a Christian. Oh, I am not saying right or wrong about it. I am saying what a terrible centricity and conformity they are demanding from people. For what? My question is, for what? Will the world become suddenly heaven? Everybody's hunger will be automatically reduced. If every country is a Muslim Islamic country, and if every human being is Islam or Muslim or Christian, their hunger, everything will be over. Happiness will be installed and ensured lifelong. What are they talking? But see, the normal population, victims of mental blocks, they don't ask such questions. Don't ask questions. Again, another conformity only. The father says, don't ask me questions, okay? You will not come across even a highly educated father or mother. Okay, ask me questions. Even about the world. Will a father or mother tolerate the child questioning them? Papa, you only said yesterday the other end. What are you doing now? Father, of course, no child will dare to ask a question to the father. Every son and daughter of this country knows clearly whether their father or mother is corrupt or not. They know that their modern bike or modern watch or modern mobile is out of the bribed money or not. They know very clearly. So some pretentious drama, centricity-conformity drama going on. Every Indian wife knows. I am telling through this video as much as possible. Every Indian wife knows whether her husband is corrupt or not. Not a doubt about that. And every son or daughter in this country knows clearly whether his or her father or mother is corrupt or not. Am I right? And on the other side, they talk other good things. This is what Albert Bandura called double bind. Albert Bandura's concept. Tied on both sides, double bind. Yeah. Mummy is asking, you love mommy more or papa more? Papa is asking, you love mommy more or papa more? The child is in utter confusion. On one side, I know that my father is corrupt. And I pretend that my classmates and other people, they don't know that. They know that. They will also not ask a question. And he's keeping the secret. After all, this much is about the centricity. So quickly, that much and many more is the side of the external dimension of centricity conformity. Now comes the equally important internal dimension. Yeah, it is centricity conformity to external commands, instructions, dominations, okay. You have to pretend like a slave before a government officer or a policeman. Okay, do that. Now, same way, you become centered and conforming to your own ideas about you. Your own mind will tell you, you are a fool. Secretly.
Yes.
You could not do that. You are a failure, Because what is failure and success, they have told, including the beloved father and mother, or the friends, or the media, or the Purana says. So that child, or at least more than 50% of the children sitting in the classroom, they are developing a strong mindset in the deeper process of their unconscious that I am not that good as that guy, about whom the teacher is glorifying. Look at that guy, look at A, or look at B, or look at X, Y, Z, What are you doing? Public insult in the classroom. Parents also, useless. The parents who love and kiss and give pocket money and give all kinds of things and claim complete possession, one day shouts at the child saying, you are bloody useless. You are a curse to the family. You are not my thing. You are damned, etc., etc. Okay. Now, I read newspaper reports parents are abandoned by the children. And a lot of journalists writing in great sympathy for them. Actually, most of them should be abandoned only.
Yeah.
Now they are weak, agreed, no doubt. They cannot eat by themselves, walk by themselves, sit by themselves, feeling this pain, that pain, absolutely unhealthy, they need help. But they, during their so-called adult times, I am sure great majority of these so-called weak elderly people were definitely unethical and corrupt, no doubt. So that even their children cannot genuinely feel their love for them. They are not in their minds, I have seen highly positioned people talking about their father with a worshipful mindset. Who is this father, A poor coolie in the farmland. And I have seen n number of cases as warden of the hostels, how cleverly every student is avoiding a visit of the father to the hostel. When I was a student, I have never heard 3 years of time in one of the top colleges in Kerala state, where hostels were the majority, more than 1,300 students in the hostels, of course including girls, but and I interacting with a lot of people, I have never heard, damn sorry, even one boy, I don't know about girls, using even the proper word father to refer to the father. That man, old man, and there are certain local languages like you don't understand, Tandapadi, Kendram, Karnur. These are the 3 common words. I don't even Mandra may not understand that words. Not bad words, but not with the respectful word is there. I have never heard of them. Father spends the money and he once in a while wants to come and see the son in the hostel. They will manage it somehow so that the father never comes. Because the father also behaves with a certain concern. If a father, I should be like this. I have surprised about men. He gets married, from the next day he is somebody very different. I don't know what is the problem. I am a husband. I am a father. Okay, it is good. But what is a father? What is a mother? I have asked the audiences of thousands of mothers sitting there, and I ask, and I give a description and definition of a mother. And then I ask. Now I request, if any woman sitting there is clearly feeling that she feels that, stand up, please stand up. 3, 4, 5 minutes, I would just stay there on the stage. Nobody would stand up. Nobody has stood up. And for you, I am such a stupid, eccentric, non-conformist. This is, I already told you. So I am quite eligible to talk like this and upload it in the YouTube.